Hey, welcome to our fifth part of prepositions. In this video, we are going to understand various uses of some prepositions and will create a contrast between them. Today also, I have some bonus tips for you. So let's get the ball rolling by creating our first contrast between on and upon. So on means on the surface, whereas upon shows the movement of going on the surface. It is same as we understood in and into. In into we understood that a thing goes inside something. But when we talk about upon, it means that something is going up. Let's make some sentences. The first sentence is, a cat is sitting on the chair. Now the cat is on the surface, so we have used the preposition on. And the second sentence is, the cat pounced upon the couch. Here we can see that the cat jumped and there is a movement shown. That earlier the cat was at a position and now the cat pounced and reached to the another position. So there is a change of position and movement is shown. So that is why we are using upon. So let's cut the chase, and on means when the body is at rest and on the surface of something, and upon shows the movement or motion. Pay heed while understanding the uses of over because it is used very often while speaking. And the first use of over is to indicate the sense of covering or wrapping something, which means when something is covering or wrapping it, we use the preposition over. Like, lay the bed sheet over the bed. Now the bed sheet is going to cover the whole bed. Or a cloth over the table, and the cloth is wrapping or covering the whole table. So whenever something is covering an area, we use the preposition over. Let's have a fun fact here. A piece of cloth is called pullover. Do you know how it looks? Okay, have a look. Now this type of apparel is called a pullover. Now the question is, why its name is pullover? It is made up of two words, pull and over. The second thing is how it is worn. So it is pulled and worn over the body. So when we wear this apparel, we pull it through our sleeves and then cover our body. So that is why the name of the apparel is pullover. Isn't it interesting? Okay, so let's move to the further use of over. And the second use of over is when we are depicting an object is at height or at a position, at high position, we use the preposition over. For example, a fan over the couch. Now the couch is at the floor and fan is over, means at the height. So that is why we are using over. Or the glaring sun over her head. Now the sun is over her head, and we are, in both the examples, we are talking about a height. An object is at height. So that is why we have used the preposition over. Here comes our bonus tip number 1. You may get baffled sometimes while using on and over. So what you have to notice is that I have this mouse and I put it on my hand. Now I have used the preposition on. Why? We use on whenever there is a point of contact. Now this mouse is touching my hand, that is why we will use on. If the mouse is at this position, we have used the preposition over. Okay, so when there is no point of contact, we use over our hand or over my hand. But if there is a point of contact, then we will use on my hand. The next two uses of over are very interesting. And the third use of over is to indicate across. Means from one side to another side. Okay, let's make some sentences. the bridge over the Hooghly. Here you can see that the bridge has been made from one bank to the another bank. So it is over the river. That is why we are using over. We can also use across, but it is not touching. It is at a height. That is why we have used the preposition over the Hooghly. Similarly, the horse jumped over the hurdle. Again, he has jumped from one side to another and was at a height. So we have used over. Coming to the fourth and the last use of over is to describe an object which is at the opposite side of you. For example, my mother works over there. Now I am pointing towards something which is opposite to me, over there, and also it is far. Or I have kept the box over there. Again, I am describing a direction which is opposite or far from me. So I will use the phrase over there. And over there means something far or on the opposite side. These were the 4 uses of over, out of which the first is to cover or wrap something. Second is to describe an object which is at a height. Third, to indicate the meaning of across. And the fourth is to describe something at the opposite side of you. Let's create a contrast between above and below. Above and below are just opposite to each other, and to understand it better, we will make a table. Above means at a high level or position, whereas below means at low level or position. Like a major ranks above a captain, whereas a colonel ranks below a brigadier. Here we are talking about ranks, so above and below. The second difference is above means more than, whereas below means less than. To understand this, imagine yourself sitting in an interview and the interviewer asked you about your salary expectations. Now you must be answering like, it should be above 50,000. It should be more than 50,000. Or you can say, I could not work below 50,000. Like I could not work at less than 50,000. So these are, so in this case it is used for quantity, more than or less than. Coming to the third use, above means of superior quality, whereas below we used to tell that something is of inferior quality. Like I consider gold above all the metals. Now means that I consider that gold is superior than any metal. And in below we can make a sentence like his performance in the contest was below average. That means that his performance today in the contest was not that good. So these are the basic 3 differences. Now you can pause the video and take a glance to understand it. Let's head towards our next preposition, which is under. The first use of under is to indicate the position of an object below the surface. Like the cat hid under the table. Now the cat is below the surface, means the cat is under the table. Or the Titanic lay several feet underwater. Now again we are indicating the position of the ship, the Titanic, under the surface or below the surface. And the second use of under is for the actions which are in progress. Like the shopping arcade is under renovation, or the high-rise building is under construction. In these both examples, we can see that both the activities are in progress. So we have used under. Now moving on to our next preposition, which is by. By has many uses, and the first use of by is to indicate the agent of action, which means to indicate a person who has performed an activity. Like the problem is solved by the teacher. Here the agent is the teacher who has performed the activity, who has solved the problem. So the agent is the teacher and we have used the preposition by. Okay. Coming to the next example, we can say this poem is written by Shakespeare. Now Shakespeare is the agent. Who has written the poem? Shakespeare. So we have used the preposition by with him. Okay, the second use of by is for modes of transport, like I will come by air. The third use of by is to use at the place of till, or we can say before the end of the specified time. Like I will submit my assignment by 4 p.m., which means I will submit it till 4 p.m. and won't be late. Or I will let you know by tomorrow, means the maximum time I will take to inform you is the day tomorrow. Okay, and the last use of by is to indicate division. So division we usually say 4 by 2, 20 by 5. So for this we use by, which means it shows the parts in which a thing is divided. Like 60 divided by 6 equals to 10. That's it for today. For practice question and quizzes, you can follow me on Telegram and find the link in the description box. I will see you very soon in my next video. Till then, keep watching.